A special shout out to our coffee supporters. In the news today, we have Bloodstained Men, Next Level Intactivism, new competition for Foregen, lots of Prevail over the System news, and more coming up. In POTS news, the CAREBUZZ campaign by Honeygain is now maintaining momentum. We are wanting a minimum of 50 people to partake in this. We are about a month into this, and we are at 18 contributors as of right now. We've gained even more people. We've gained about 3 people from last week, and we are raising now about $1 a week. We are about 1/3 of the way there to our number of 50 people to help us doing CAREBUZZ. This is super exciting. It will be linked in the bottom in the description if you feel so inclined to join the POTS militia. You guys are doing good. I'm starting to feel hopeful. Feel free to share this with your friends and other groups about doing it. Also, speaking of POTS and their initiatives, POTS does have a new Facebook. Granted, this isn't going as well as we hoped, but you know what? Once again, slow and steady. And we are going to keep on uploading to our Facebook until it grows more and more, and we won't quit. Speaking of not quitting, since Cockfight and Arc Law turned down a POTS contract, and Bloodstained Men, Doctors Opposing Circumcision, Your Whole Baby, and Gowdaf has not responded back to our email, it's now time to spin the picker wheel. Also, if you guys noticed that we have Saving Our Sons is now a part of the picker wheel, so that's super exciting. And once again, this provides top-notch transparency to everyone. Also, the only fair way is to leave it to chance. So let's go. All right, Saving Our Sons. So I'm going to go ahead and give you what we wrote to them for the email. Oh no, guys, I didn't change the screen. Alright, so I did not change the screen for this, but that's alright. I'm sorry. I'm tired. But don't worry. It was Saving Our Sons. That was a technical error on my part. Sorry, guys. But I'm going to go ahead and email Saving Our Sons, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the email right here. Alright, and in Next Level Intactivism news, they are looking for a few good volunteers to help run the media outreach campaign for the upcoming Bloodstained Men Northern California tour. They already have the data sitting in their database for California, meaning half of the work is already done. Daniel Rold made a statement saying, "The last few tours we did not run an outreach program, and the media coverage was dismal and sad. So if you want to join Daniel Rold and the rest of them, feel free to reach out to Daniel Rold on Discord." Also, in unaltered news, the leader has agreed to do an interview with us on Prevail over the System, so feel free to ask us questions in our Discord. They recently also have joined the POTS Alliance last week as well. And in Eric Klopper news, Eric Klopper has done a YouTube video or podcast that was over 2.5 hours long with Wellness Plus Wisdom. It was released 6 days ago. It got about 10,000 views, which is pretty good for an Intactivist video. Also, guys, if you do watch it, please remember that like button. Also, remember this like button too, because that does help with the YouTube algorithm. And also, remember to leave a comment so Wellness Plus Wisdom continue to bring on Intactivists on the show. Which, you know, they actually might decline showing up because Intactivists like to decline interviews for some reason. Well, certain Intactivists like to. But yeah, but anyways, definitely go ahead, leave comments, and show some support and love for this video. So Wellness Plus Wisdom is more eager to talk about the truth about circumcision ending MGM. All right, and in Intact America news, Intact America, they did release another blog about gender bias and circumcision. Essentially, it says that circumcision bad. And in Gaudaf news, Gaudaf is selling tickets still. You can go ahead and buy your tickets, but this is only for the first 100 ticket purchasers. The screen times for May 4th are listed right here, down below, depending on where you live. And also, if you do end up buying your tickets, you can go ahead and ask them questions, and they will answer them. It's going to be with Tim Hamon, Steve Scott, and Tina Kimmel. Tina Kimmel's really cool. Tina Kimmel actually has done an interview with Prevail of the System before. We have lots of Bloodstained Men news. So Bloodstained Men, they do have an event coming up. They have the Northern California Circumcision Crisis Protest. That's coming up in about 3 weeks, May 8th, 2024, for 13 days until May 20th. They have most of their locations now pinned down, and their times are also mostly pinned down, so you can definitely go ahead and see where they're going to go ahead and protest. Speaking of the Bloodstained Men, Prevail Over the System made a video exposing Bloodstained Men and their actions, targeting not only his company, but others. Bloodstained Men have remained silent so far. We are going to go to Potts for more on this. Yes, thank you, News Potts. There was many comments below that video. None of them were mean or negative towards us. The majority of people had nothing but support for Potts and the message that we gave. And I would like to say thank you to all of those. Out of 22 reactions, only 5 people downvoted it. And those who downvoted it, I guess, just didn't know how to type because I didn't see anything negative in the comments. A few people messaged us directly negative things, but they all refused to do an interview explaining what they don't like about Potts. None of their reasoning to hate Potts holds any water. It's nothing but lies or delusions on how Intactivism really works or about us. These delusions and lies can only last in the darkness, and when you shine a light on it, it crumbles, literally like circumcision. Isn't it concerning that an anti-circumcision group is using pro-cutter-like tactics? So, surprise, surprise, the die-hard Bloodstained Men supporters who rely on traditions are also quite cowardly because they get really quiet when you ask them to make a video about their accusations. It also doesn't even have to be on Prevail Over the System. It could be their own video that they share, because obviously Potts is not perfect. We do welcome feedback, and we do thank our fan base of Potts. We have been getting better and better thanks to our fans. However, the accusations that are floating around out there is downright ridiculous. Granted, let's wait to see how the Bloodstained Men respond if they ever do. You guys know I don't refuse interviews. It's time for better Intactivist groups that don't only serve to protect, but also serve Intactivists themselves. Before I leave, I would like to say thank you to all the donors. We have gotten so many more donors after that video. I think people want honesty and want to be treated like they can be part of the discussion, instead of what a lot of groups have been doing, which is having them sit at the kids' table while the adults are talking, which leaves the donors and the people wondering, why isn't Intactivism doing better? Well, thank you for that review, Potts. All right, moving on to Intactivism fundraisers of the week. So we do have a new fundraiser that Potts did miss, but it is the foreskin regeneration. So this is done by Randall Callison, who had done an interview on Prevail Over the System. And you can watch the whole interview. He discusses this body electromagnetism and the foundation of life by Dr. Robert O. Becker. And essentially this GoFundMe is to go ahead and look into using electricity to go ahead and repair and regrow tissue using a low voltage current and keeping the wound open. And silver nanocathodes. So this might be a new up-and-coming Foregen or a Foregen competitor if this does start taking off. Granted, this only got $40 out of 100K raised so far. Randy hasn't been too outspoken about this except for the interview. So if you guys want to go back and look at that interview, you definitely can. Hopefully we can have him back on and he can talk a lot more about this and how he plans on actually bringing this body electric to life to Intactivists, because that would be pretty cool. But as of right now, he's only had $40 raised out of $100,000. I don't know if that's all what he needs is $100,000. I'm not sure. So if you guys know anything, please let me know. All right, so the Bloodstained Men and their protesting fundraiser, as of right now, they've gotten more donations. They're at about $400 out of $3,500. They are getting more donations, which is good. Also, the Bloodstained Men's Facebook fundraiser is doing better and better. They got about $1,600 raised. So all in all, they have about $2,000 raised out of their $5,400 or their $9,000 goal. I don't know how much money they need to raise. No one's telling me how much money they actually need to raise. But once again, not very communicative. But as you see on their Facebook donations and their GoFundMe, the goals are two separate numbers. So I have no idea. So once again, guys, if you know, please leave a comment. Also, Gowdab has been getting a lot more money recently. They jumped up about $550, a little over that, the past week. They're at $6,455 out of their $10,000 goal. I guess people are all for Gowdaf and helping them. All right. And Your Whole Baby, their booth at the LA Prego Expo, they've gotten $25 extra this past week. And now they have $1,290 out of $2,500. And also Prevail over the system. Thank you guys very much. You guys have been giving quite graciously, and I definitely appreciate all of your donations. You guys are definitely helping a lot. We definitely do appreciate it. Right now, Potts is at 57% of our $7,000 goal, so that is awesome. Thank you guys very much once again. All right, now it's time for the Intactivist growth for the week. So, last week, the Bloodstained Men had 6,102 followers. Currently, they now have 6,108 followers, which is a grand total of 6 people, which is a 0.01% gain for the week. That is not a very good gain, but at least it's in the positive direction. All right, guys, please leave a comment, question, or concerns you guys have down below, and don't forget to hit that like button because that really does help, and also share if you guys enjoyed the news. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great one. Bye.